Hey guys, here are 10 real reasons you're still single, and it's not what you think. Number 1. The dating app deluge. Spam and silence. Imagine you're a woman on a dating app. You open your inbox, and it's not just a few polite hellos. It's a literal tsunami of, "Hey gorgeous, wanna hook up?" and 1,000 copy-pasted pickup lines. On the flip side, you're an average guy sending out thoughtful messages, only to be met with crickets. Absolute silence. It's like trying to get a job by sending out 1,000 identical resumes, or being a casting director flooded with applications from people who clearly didn't read the script. Everyone's shouting, but no one's listening. This isn't just bad etiquette, it's a systemic breakdown. Women are overwhelmed, leading to them filtering out almost everyone, and men, especially average ones, are stuck in a feedback loop of rejection, becoming even more desperate or jaded. The signal-to-noise ratio is completely broken, so you're not single because you're not trying hard enough. You're single because the digital dating ecosystem is fundamentally designed to drown out genuine connection with a flood of low-quality interactions. Number 2. The no serious relationships epidemic. Here's a cold, hard truth. A massive chunk of the dating pool isn't looking for what you're looking for. They're not looking for a ring, a future, or even a second date that requires pants. They're looking for Netflix and chill, and that's it. Data shows that casual dating, hookup culture, and situationships are on the rise. Economic pressures, shifting social norms, and a fear of commitment all play a role. People are prioritizing personal freedom, career, or simply avoiding the emotional labor of a serious relationship. You might be an amazing marriage material partner, but if you're fishing in a pond full of people who just want to catch and release, your net's going to stay empty, not because you're not good enough, but because the fish aren't biting what you're selling. Number 3, the economic reality check, money and stability. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, money. It's not romantic, but it's real. For many, financial stability isn't just a bonus, it's a prerequisite. And for men, the pressure to be a provider, or at least financially solvent, is still a heavy societal expectation. In an era of rising costs of living, student debt, and stagnant wages, building a stable financial future is a struggle for many. This directly impacts their perceived eligibility in the dating market. Surveys show financial stability is a top factor for many seeking partners, especially women. So you might be an amazing person with a heart of gold, but if your bank account doesn't reflect a certain level of comfort, you're often filtered out before you even get a chance to show that heart of gold. Love might be free, but dates, rent, and a future together definitely aren't. Number 4. The Looks-Centric Landscape, the visual filter. Remember when you could meet someone in person, have a conversation, and then maybe, just maybe, their personality would make them incredibly attractive? Yeah, dating apps put an end to that fairy tale faster than you can say, swipe left. Now, your entire existence is reduced to a few photos. You could be a Nobel Prize winner, a champion of charity, or the funniest person on earth. But if your first photo isn't an 8 out of 10 or higher, you're effectively invisible. It's like applying for a brain surgeon job, and the only thing they look at is your headshot. This hyper-visual filtering creates an incredibly shallow pool where only the conventionally attractive get consistent attention. It reinforces the idea that your worth is purely aesthetic, and it punishes those who might be fantastic partners but just don't photograph well or fit a narrow beauty standard. So, while everyone's preaching inner beauty, the apps are screaming, "Show me your best angles, and maybe a yacht if you have one." Good luck finding depth when everyone's judging the cover. Number 5. The Alpha-Omega Trap, gendered expectations and disrespect. Here's where it gets really uncomfortable. A lot of people are entering the dating arena with deeply ingrained, often toxic ideas about what men and women should be. For some women, it's the hunt for an alpha male who's 6 feet tall, financially stacked, and emotionally unavailable. For some men, it's the chase for a trad wife, or a physically flawless partner, often objectifying women in the process. These polarized expectations, amplified by online echo chambers, lead to a profound lack of respect. Men feel unappreciated for their genuine efforts, often dismissed if they don't fit a narrow, often unattainable ideal. Women feel reduced to their looks or a set of domestic skills, and their intelligence or career achievements are overlooked. This creates resentment and makes genuine connection nearly impossible. So, you're not single because you're fundamentally flawed. You're single because you're trying to date in a battlefield of outdated ideals and performative expectations, where mutual respect often gets lost in the crossfire of what I deserve versus what I can get. Number 6, the always better option syndrome, fear of missing out. Imagine you're at a buffet. You pile your plate high with delicious food, but then you glance over and see someone with an even better plate. Your food, which was perfectly fine a second ago, suddenly tastes a little less satisfying. Now, apply that to dating, but instead of food, it's people. Dating apps are a never-ending buffet. You're on a date, and instead of being present, a little part of your brain is wondering, what if there's someone hotter, funnier, richer, or with better abs just one swipe away? It's the ultimate grass is greener mentality on steroids. This constant stream of potential upgrades creates a paradox of choice that actively prevents commitment. People become hesitant to invest deeply in one person because they're always aware of the seemingly infinite better options just a click away. It breeds dissatisfaction and keeps everyone in a state of perpetual dating limbo. So, you're not single because you're not good enough. You're single because everyone's subconsciously holding out for a phantom perfect 10, while ignoring the perfectly good 8s and 9s right in front of them because, FOMO. Number 7, the emotional baggage claim, unresolved trauma, and past issues. Here's a bitter pill to swallow. A lot of singles are carrying emotional baggage that could fill an airport carousel. And guess what? They're bringing it on every single date. Unresolved trauma from past relationships, family dynamics, or personal insecurities often manifest as trust issues, commitment phobia, or a tendency to push people away. People unconsciously recreate familiar patterns, even if those patterns are destructive, because they haven't done the inner work to heal. You might be genuinely ready for a healthy partnership, but if the person across from you is still fighting battles from their past, you're not dating them. You're dating their unresolved issues. And that's a losing battle for everyone involved. Number 8, the Netflix and chill economy, decline of real-world socialization. Remember back in the day when you actually, went outside and people talked to each other without staring at a screen? Yeah, apparently that was a thing. Now, our living rooms are basically our entire social universe. We've optimized our lives for comfort and convenience. Why go to a noisy bar when you can binge watch your favorite show in your pajamas? Why join a club when you can scroll through endless content from the comfort of your couch? The problem is, love rarely slides into your DMs when you're elbow deep in a bag of chips. This cultural shift towards isolated entertainment and remote work means fewer casual encounters, fewer meet cutes at the coffee shop, and fewer opportunities to simply exist in the same physical space as potential partners. We're physically closer than ever to our screens, but emotionally further apart from each other. So, you're not single because you're a hermit. You're single because the entire world decided to become hermits. And now, the only way to meet is to scream into the digital void, hoping someone swipes right on your perfectly curated avatar. Number 9, the self-improvement treadmill, perpetual growth and comparison. You've been told to work on yourself before you can find love. And while self-improvement is great, it's turned into an endless treadmill where you're never good enough to be worthy of a relationship. The self-help industry, social media influencers, and even well-meaning friends push the narrative that you must reach some idealized state of perfection. Perfect body, perfect career, perfect hobbies, before you're ready for a partner. This creates a paralyzing fear of inadequacy and prevents people from embracing their perfectly imperfect selves. So, you're not single because you're broken. You're single because you've been convinced you need to become a flawless, mythical creature before anyone could possibly love you. And guess what? That mythical creature doesn't exist. Number 10, the ghosting and lack of communication epidemic. You go on a few dates. Things seem to be going well. You're laughing, you're connecting, you're even planning the next meetup. Then, poof, they vanish, like a magician's trick. But instead of applause, you're left with a sinking feeling and a million unanswered questions. This isn't just rude, it's psychological warfare. Ghosting, soft ghosting, breadcrumbing. It's a buffet of bad communication tactics. It leaves people wondering what they did wrong, if they misread everything, or if they're simply unlovable. And when you've been ghosted enough times, you start building walls higher than the Great Wall of China. This lack of basic respect and clear communication erodes trust in the dating pool. It teaches people not to invest emotionally, to keep their guard up, and to expect the worst. It's like playing a game where the rules change every turn, and the other player can just disappear without warning. So, you're not single because you're too sensitive. You're single because nobody learned how to have a difficult conversation. And it's easier to vanish than to say, it's not a match. And that, my friends, is a recipe for a whole lot of lonely people. So, there you have it. The real uncomfortable truths about why you might still be single. It's not always about you, or your vibe, or your inability to find inner peace. Sometimes it's the chaotic, often dysfunctional reality of modern dating, compounded by a society that increasingly values individual pursuits over traditional partnerships. But here's the thing. Understanding these issues is the first step. It allows you to navigate this bizarre landscape with open eyes, to protect your peace, and to, perhaps, just perhaps, find someone who's actually willing to put in the effort. That's all for today. If you enjoy videos like this, hit subscribe for more. Catch you next time.